Framer just released plugins, which basically means that now we're able to do things that we weren't able to do before, such as syncing our CMS collections with Notion or Google Sheets, or accessing thousands of icons right on the Framer canvas. In this video, I'm going to show you the top 6 free Framer plugins that you can start using today. My name is Nandi, this is Framer University, and let's get started. By the way, you're not going to believe the last plugin that I will show you in this video. So I think first of all, we should discuss how the hell we access these plugins. First of all, we're going to jump right inside of one of our Framer projects, and we're going to look on the top navigation bar. We will have this nice little plugins icon that we can click, and we can see all of these plugins right here. We can also search them here if we want to. So for example, Notion, I can type in Notion here. Notion will be right there and I can launch it. Or I can also click this browse plugins, which will basically take me to this website, which is basically the Framer marketplace that has now a plugins section next to templates. And we can browse again all of the plugins right here, and we can also try them from here. So basically that's how you can access these plugins. And now let's take a look at our first plugin that I want to show you guys, which is Notion. So Notion is a plugin that you can use to basically sync one of your CMS collections with a Notion database. So basically you don't have to come into Framer and edit your CMS collections in Framer. You can just maybe write your blog post in Notion and it will be automatically, updated on your Framer CMS collection. It's not exactly like this. I'm going to show you how to do it exactly because there are some, small parts that you have to get right. But yeah, let's take a look at this. So first of all, if we go to plugins and we launch Notion, we can quickly create a collection. So this is the first part. Unfortunately, you cannot, sync Notion with CMS collections that are already existing on your project. So for example, you can see that in this project, we have this blog CMS collection. And if I want to now sync this to Notion, I cannot really do that. So if I want to start syncing a collection to Notion, I have to create that collection from scratch. So let's go to plugins again and Notion. And here I'm creating the collection. And so I'm going to call this article and I'm going to hit create. So now here, what I can do is I can go to my Notion and I can make sure that it is connected to Framer. So you can just basically open up Notion, go to the top right corner, click 3 dots, then go down to connect to, and then just select Framer, and boom, now your Notion is connected to Framer. Then just make sure to hit this little refresh button right here, and your database will be shown right here. So as you can see in my Notion, I have this page right here, which is the website content. And within that, we have a database, which is this articles CMS. So this is exactly what I'm seeing right here. So as you can see here, I have this one item, which is the getting started, and it has a name, this main title, and then we have a category property, which is just a text field, CMS. We have a date property, which is set to September 4th. And then we have the slug, which is getting started. And then we have the rest of the content that will be written as the actual body of the blog. So this is the setup inside of Notion. So if we go back to Framer, we can click this next. And then here, what we can do is we first have to select the slug. So the slug will be sourced from the slug property from Notion. And then basically that's what we have to do. We can rename these collection fields if we want to, but basically we don't really have to do anything right here. We can select these if we don't want to, import some of these properties, but in our case, we want all of them. So we can just hit import from article CMS. And then as you can see, our one little item is now magically appeared right here. So as you can see, it's right here. I cannot edit it right here inside of Framer. I can only edit it right here inside of Notion. So if I go back to my CMS detail page, as you can see, it is still connected to my old blog CMS collection. And if you also had a similar setup where you already had designed a CMS detail page, you can quickly swap it to the new collection by clicking that button and then go to article. If this is not the case, then you can just go to pages, click the plus button, and then just create a new CMS detail page for your article CMS collection that you've just created. I'm going to just swap it for now. So swap to article. And then basically this is going to be our detail page for the Notion synced collection. And I can just go ahead and make sure that these properties are set up correctly. So for example, this is the category. So it should not get the name, but the category. So set variable category. And I can also make sure that the rest of these are also correct. I can also just come here to this content because this will be the actual content of the blog post. I will remove this property here because we are not going to source it from the category. We're going to source it from the content field from our CMS. So now, as you can see, everything that is right here within our item inside of Notion is now here on our Framer website. So basically, if you want to add a new item, we just have to come here to Notion and we can just open this up right here. We can name this like our new blog. The category will be tutorial, and then the date will be maybe October 1st. The slug will be our new blog. And then here we can write the rest of the blog. So for that, I'll just come here to Arc, and then I'll just select all of this text and just paste it in right there. So let's do that. And then of course we can also have these images. So I'm going to just drop images here, and basically that's it. So that's how easy it is. Maybe you are already like writing your blog post in Notion, and now you don't have to like copy everything over into Framer. You can just write it in Notion and publish it to your Framer website really easily. I'm going to show you how right now, because now when you update your Notion with a new blog post, for example, what you have to do is you have to go back to Framer and you have to go to the CMS. You have to select the article. You can see a little synced section here on the left panel. These are all of your synced collections. And we still see one item right here. And that's because every single time we make an update in our Notion, we have to come here and click this little sync button. So now, as you can see, it started syncing, and after a couple of seconds, it should be all good and we should see the two items. And as you can see, we have get started and our new blog. So if I come here to this detail page, I can switch to the our new blog. I was just a little confused because here it says blog, and I probably just made a typo here. So I can just come here, correct it here, the slug, and then come back to CMS, sync it, and with just a couple of seconds, everything will be updated and our slug will be correct as well. So as you can see, now it says blog correctly. And as you can see, the category is also nicely sourced from the Notion, the title as well, and the rest of the content too. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so the next plugin that I want to show you is actually helping me to create resources faster, because every time I create a resource for Framer.University, I have to go into this CMS collection here, and I have to write the title, the description, and everything. So for example, if I want to speed up my process to make sure that these descriptions that you can see right here are generated faster, I can basically export this collection as CSV. So I click here, export, and then I can select the resources collection and export it as a CSV file. And I already did it, so let me just open it right here. And basically this is a file that has all of the information from these items. So what I can do then is I can create a prompt for AI, which I can show you right here. As you can see, I can create a prompt which basically asks AI to generate a resource description for a specific resource. And I basically give it all of these titles and descriptions from previous items, and it can just make sure that the resource description that it is about to generate will be, similar to the ones that I have previously written. And, I could have done this by just copying all of these descriptions one by one from the website, but it's just much faster to just download it with one click, the CSV, and then just upload it to AI, and now it has all of these information. And yeah, it can just speed up your process a lot if you have like a bunch of data that you can feed into AI And yeah, if you have a collection, for example, a blog with a bunch of posts, you can export it as CSV and then speed up your blog creation process by a lot with that. So the next plugin that I'm going to show you is actually really similar to the Notion one because it lets you to like sync your CMS collection with something, and that something is Google Sheets. Well, I think it's better than Notion because you can create different formulas within like a Google Sheet, and you can make sure that when you just update one or two values, the rest of them are updating automatically. So what I mean by that, I'm going to show you right here. So as you can see, again, within Framer University, I have this template opportunity kind of like table, or like, I don't even know what is this. It's basically just showcases the best niches that you can design for. And yeah, it basically uses a formula that calculates an opportunity score from the number of templates and the search volume for that specific category or niche. And what I did for this is I basically jumped into Google Sheets and I created this table here where I can edit the template count and the search volume, and it will give me an opportunity score because it generates this normalized count and normalized value, and from that it generates the opportunity score. So I don't want to really like go super deep into how it works, but as you can see, if I write 1000 here, the opportunity score will go down. I also have this color, which basically looks at the opportunity score, and then it sees that, okay, it's 82, then it goes to these ranges, and then it sees that, okay, 82 is within this right here, so it should use this color. So basically that's how it works. So if I write something really low here, you can see that the color will also change. So you can see that it's really convenient here. I can just update a couple of values and then I have everything correctly. However, before plugins, what I had to do is I had to go into Framer and I had to set everything manually. So I had to set the count manually. I had to update it, the volume as well, and then the opportunity score as well. Because I couldn't, calculate it within the CMS. And then I also had to select the color here manually. So if the opportunity was 12, then okay, it's 10 to 20. And yeah, basically I had to do everything manually. But now what I can do is I can just sync this table that I'm seeing right here. And basically that's it. So let's do that right now, live on this video. So I'm going to go to plugins, I'm going to go sheets, and then maybe temp up, and then create. Okay, so now we have this synced temp up, and we can click this sync button right here, and this will be open right here where we can sign into Google. So I'm going to do that. As you can see, I already signed in and now I'm authenticated. So I can select one of my spreadsheets. This CMS file is the one that I'm going to use, and then the sheet is the main CSV. So now we can click next. And here what we can do is we can make sure that everything is mapped correctly. So first of all, what we know that we don't want to show the normalized count, the normalized value, and the title. So we can do that. We can just deselect these, and then we can make sure that the slug field is based on the slug field right here. So this is our slug column right here within the sheets. And we want to make sure that the slug field will actually be based on the slug column. And then I can make sure that the type of these fields are correct. So the niche is a string, the template opportunity score is a number. Sorry, that was the number of templates, so that's a number. The search volume is a number as well. The opportunity score is a number as well. The color is a color, and then the slug is a string again. And then if everything is correct, and I don't want to rename any of these fields, then I can just click import from main CSV. And as you can see, it's already done. And you can see that I have the correct colors everywhere. And I can make sure to click this opportunity score and just make sure that it goes from the largest to the lowest. And basically that's it. Now what I can do is I can come here and I can make sure that this right here is sourced from the temp up. And then I think it's gonna be good. Yes. Then I can go within this. This is the CMS collection item frame. And then within that, the e-commerce will actually be the niche. Yes. So that was correct. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I just deselected it. So niche is correct. Number of templates, I think that is displayed correctly. Yes. Search volume, I think that is displayed correctly. No, actually, this is not correct. This is the template count and it should be the search volume. So we have to display that. Okay, cool. So now the last one is the opportunity score. So also display the opportunity score like this. And then the color will be just sourced from the color. And that's it. Now, every time when I update this collection, all I have to do is I have to go to the Google Sheets and let's just focus on, for example, this e-commerce. I can change its template count to 1 and the search volume to 1 as well. As you can see now, its opportunity score will be only 50 and the color also changed. So if I go back to Framer, to the CMS, and I click the sync button, it will nicely be synced. And as you can see, the e-commerce now jumped back down right here. So if we take a look at this, you can see that now the top one is the free template niche and the e-commerce is right here with the updated values. So as you can see, it is just super easy to update collections that might be a little bit more dependent on these data. And if you can really like take advantage of these different formulas and kind of like automations that you can create here within Sheets, then I think it's a pretty great option for you to sync it with your Framer CMS. One little thing you might be asking, Nandi, how did you make that like it's like changing the colors automatically and it's like looks at this data set and like all sorts of different things? I don't know. I have literally no clue. I just asked the AI how to do these things and it just gave me a step-by-step like guide on how I can set these up. And basically that's how I did it. So I'm not a Google Sheets expert or anything. I didn't really use it like ever. So basically that's how I did it. By the way, if you enjoy Framer and you think that you want to learn a bit more about it, you can check out framer.university that I've been mentioning a lot in this video. It basically has a bunch of resources and tutorials that you can use when you're learning Framer. So yeah, I think it's a pretty helpful resource, but you know, go ahead and check it out yourself. And yeah, let's take a look at the next plugin. So the next one is basically a really useful one. So for example, you can see that I have these images right here on the canvas and they are like a little bit messy. And I don't know if you're like me, you don't really like this because I don't really like this. But what I used to do when I saw something like this is that I had to go ahead and just do everything manually. But now what I can do is I can just select all of these. I can go to plugins, tidy up. And then as you can see now, I can just click grid. I can set up everything here, the gap, the row gap, the columns, click tidy up. And it's basically tidy now. And by the way, if you like messy, you can just mess it up again. I guess it's very cool that you can do this with a plugin. The next plugin is really fun. You can turn any image into like this detail version of the image. So if I go ahead to plugins and I select detail, I can basically click on this image here and you can see that it creates this detail effect for the image. I can change the mode here. I can change the pixelation. I can customize it however I want to. And then if I'm ready, I can just insert image and it will be inserted into right here. And I have this cool image and I don't have to leave Framer to create something like this, which is pretty cool. Another really similar plugin like this is the ASCII. So for example, if I go ahead to this image and I go to plugins and then where it is ASCII, here it is. As you can see, I can change the characters here. So maybe Framer, like these random characters, and then I can change the size. I can change the brightness. And yeah, I can just do this right inside of Framer, which is very cool, I guess. I can then just click insert. And here we have our new image, the ASCII version of the image that we selected. Pretty cool. Okay, so have you ever struggled with like using icons on your site, because you have to like go to different websites. You have to always hunt down the best free icons that are out there. Now you can just use one simple free plugin in Framer to basically get access to almost all the free icons that are out there, I guess. So if you go to plugins and if you search for icon stack, you can click this, and basically this plugin right here has over 40,000 icons. I'm not joking, it's really over 40,000. You can see that just in these tabular icons, we have over 4,000 icons right here. And I can select any of these, and then I have all of these other icon packs right here. So if you are into material icons, you can select that, search for fire, for example, and you can click it, and then copy SVG or insert icon, and then you have it right here on the canvas, an icon. And you can also change the pixel size, so maybe 24, and insert it again, and then you have a larger size of the icon, and you have all of this right inside of Framer. Like it's so cool. I don't have to leave Framer, and I can use over 40,000 free icons. It's so good. Okay, so basically that's all for now. These are, in my opinion, top 6 free Framer plugins today. It's really important to mention that Framer just released these plugins, so it's really new. Like they just released them a couple of seconds ago. So new plugins will be coming in the future. These plugins will be, improving and getting better and better. So yeah, I think there's a bright future ahead of Framer, and I'm really excited about it. Again, if you want to learn more about Framer, make sure to go ahead and check out Framer.university. I have more tutorials, components, resources, and stuff like that will help you learn Framer. So without any further ado, you should click the like button, click the subscribe button and the comment button, and write a fun comment so I can be happy. And yeah, I'm gonna see you in the next one.